It's time. We're live on TikTok. And we're going to talk tonight about physical activities like helping someone get dressed or maybe undressed, both of which can be sort of challenging if you're thinking that the person understands the task and appreciates the sequence of a task, understands the purpose of the task, gets the why behind the task, and understands what you're trying to get them to do and your language. So we're going to start off. Amanda is in a, sorry. we're minus one of our folks, and so we're working with two people instead of three, so the camera might be a little bit iffy. We'll do our very best, though. Make do or do without. So Amanda is walking around, and we're going outside, and let's say it's, I'm checking to see what the temperature is because I can find it on my watch. It's about 60 degrees out. And I know Manda. Manda does not like 60-degree weather with nothing other than a little tank top on. So one of the biggest mistakes we make is trying to get her to understand that although it is 72 in here, it is 60 degrees outside. Because she's actually pretty comfortable in here. It's actually more like 75 in this room right now. And so she's probably really comfortable. I'm a little warm. But what I have to appreciate is the part of her brain that can think, oh, this temperature is not that temperature. Outside will be a cold temperature. So I need to dress here for going out there, which is actually a complex thing. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to go, you know what, Manda? Let's go to the door. Now, why go to the door? What do you think? When we open the door, she will experience the temperature out. When I open that door and I go, whoa, wow, man, that's cold. Tell you what, now, here's where I have a couple options. I could simply decide, you know what? I'm going to present her with one item. Because I've already got her at the door. I really just want to see if we can move this forward. In which case, we're not going to do a choice now. I'm going to go, hey, Manda, here. Now, notice, I didn't say, Manda, let's put a sweater on. Manda, here's your sweater. Manda, get your sweater out of the closet. What I want to focus on, our goal is to get out the door. But my goal is also to have Amanda do what she can without this being an interaction that could go south. Because truly, we have somewhere to go. So here we go. Here you go, Amanda. And what I'm starting with, quite honestly.
You want to show them what you're showing me?
Yeah. So what I'm showing her is one sleeve to her preferred side. Amanda's right-handed, so I'm going to start by saying, here you go. And I have it down and held where she can easily take her hand and put it through this hole. And I do her right hand because it's your preferred hand, it's your go-to, it's your getting started. So what we have, I'm going to go here. Here you go. She starts to go in. I will adjust up here so that I don't pull it so far up. Big mistake. If you put it all the way up here, then I have to figure out how she's going to get, let's move over just a tiny bit, how she's going to get this arm in. And frequently what we end up doing is we get her hand in here, and then we try to pull it down and on. And what we end up doing, I can usually tell that that's what we've done because the under seams of the shirts, sweaters, all that stuff, what end up happening is they get worn out and we tear holes in things because we're trying to do something that the body is not meant to do. And for those of you who are asking, we did notice, no, Amanda does not have dementia. She does not. Though we have plenty of friends in our circle who may be as young as Amanda, because, I mean, she could have dementia. She doesn't. She doesn't have a disability that we know about. I mean, she's just quote unquote normal brain. The reason I can do so many different demonstrations is she's able to be flexible along with me. So I could have people that live with dementia, and as we move forward, we will, because we have some great teachers that we're going to be working with. But, you know, COVID has affected us too. We don't have it, but it makes it harder to access and connect with people. So what we're going to do I'm here. Notice I stopped below her elbow. Elbow's a joint, and if I get above the elbow, then I'm actually limiting a little bit of what can happen. So I'm going to keep it down here. I'm going to keep it low. I'm going to have her keep her arm to her side. And then what I'm going to do is just simply have her, there you go. So the reason I want to do it down there, this movement of taking your arm in and down is actually a relatively simple movement. If I do this, that's a harder movement. If I try to get her to do this, it all just gets messy. So this down here, sort of like in the olden days, that's the way a gentleman would help a lady put on a jacket. You hold it down low, but typically they would stand behind and the lady would put both arms in. And notice I did one side, second side. So once we get here, how tempted might I be? I have active fingers and I can see how all the buttons go. And so my temptation is to take over. Or can you button your sweater? Both of those, I want to make sure if I say button your sweater, here's the tricky part. Go ahead and put binoculars on your eyes if you're out there and look down at your sweater or shirt and realize you're missing part of the visual field. So trying to figure out which ones line up and how to get that to happen. What I'm going to do is say, hey, Amanda, here you go. How about this one right here is going to go right with this right here. Got it?
That one?
Yeah, this one right here.
The one.
See, yeah, put it through. You got it. Oops. There you go. Good. Now try this one. Let's see. Can you try this one?
Mm-hmm.
Right there. You got it. Push it through. Push it through. There you go. Good. Yeah. So once I got her brain to remember, button the button, button the button, I started first by taking over the right hand and letting her left pull the button into position. And then I did the adjustment. The second one, I had her see whether or not her fingers could remember the task and now use that right hand, which she's rehearsed a lot. The tricky thing about this sweater is that, well, for some shirts, women's shirts, they switch which side the buttons and the holes are on. So you have to sort of try it out, see if it works. So now we want to take the sweater off because we've come back inside. So here's the trick. What do you guys think? Should we try to get it off right away? Because she's been out where it's cold. Sweater felt pretty good. Maybe what we might want to do is not try to get it off right away. Give it a few minutes. And then rather than simply maybe taking that one off, what I could say is, hey, Amanda. That one, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you rather wear this? This one? Or this one?
I think that one's the nicer one.
This one is the nicer one. This one, yeah, this one, somebody did a little something to it. She found the scissors maybe like 2 days ago and decided she was going to sew something. Yeah, it is what it is. So, all right, so you're this one? Okay, now the reason I'm showing her what we're going to put on is before I get clothes off someone, sometimes they need to know we're going to put something else on. So the idea of not disrobing you, we're going to reclothe you. And so what I'll do is, tell you what, we're going to take this one off, and we're going to put this one on. Okay. So you go.
So can you explain real quick why you're showing me so many things and not just telling me? Because a lot of people say, I tell them and I try to explain what I'm going to do before I do it.
Yeah. So the reason we use a lot of visual cueing is one of the realities of living with almost every form of dementia, except for posterior cortical atrophy, which is the back of your brain, is that your visual cortex is going to be more effective than your language center. The language center of your brain is these little small areas in your left temporal lobe, and they're only located in your left temporal lobe. And they're very small little areas. And so what you have to do is hear something, take something in, comprehend it, and then you have to associate it with objects and tasks. So it's not just like we're talking about a person. We're talking about getting your body to do things related to the words I gave you. So if instead I can give you a cue like your shirt, I am not only using the word, I am showing you the item that I'm talking about. And then your shirt, like your shirt.
But you haven't touched me the whole time.
I have not, because what I want to be careful of is it's her body, it's her, this is me. And so I show on me and then gesture to her. And every time I want to make physical contact, I have to make sure I have permission. Now, that doesn't mean I ask her if I can do it every time, because that would be language again. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm doing this, and then I point, and then I offer, like, for instance, my hand. And when I offer my hand and she takes my hand, it means she agreed. Now, the reason I came up with the idea of using hand under hand, and as far as I know, I'm the only person that really thought this. It's weird. I don't understand how you could not understand this, but the human hand is designed with two sides. If you take your index finger and you run it down between your ring finger and your middle finger straight down your palm, there are two nerves that go into your hand. The one over here on this side called the ulnar nerve. This is the ulnar nerve side. This is the one that supplies the sensation and the movement to the little finger side of your hand. And it runs behind your elbow. If you've ever hit your elbow, you know where it runs. This part of your hand, the thumb, the index, and the middle finger, that's the median nerve, and it goes through this little carpal tunnel. Like if you've ever heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, that's when there's restriction here because of the band of tissue there. So these three fingers, your thumb, your index, and your middle, go ahead and get them out if you want to. These are what make your hand very skillful. So you can do skillful things. They have a huge amount of sensation out here on the tips. They allow you to manipulate things, to handle things, put in earrings, button buttons, zip zippers, everything you do, crack an egg, pull it apart. These two fingers give your hand strength, but these are the ones with skill. And dementia will rob you of skill and leave you with 5 strong fingers. So what I'm able to do is compensate for that lack of skill anymore and cue the fingers, because I'm going to put my hand in here. And what she can now do is feel what my fingers are doing, because this pad, and this pad are all making connection with my hand. So every time I move my muscle, she feels it. She feels my muscle move. And so that tells her sort of what I'm doing. And it reminds her brain up here of what she's supposed to do. So I take her hand in here, and as I touch, notice how she automatically looked down, and then I start to do this, and then this again, and undo it. Yep. And undo this one. Here you go. See if you can get this one, man. Right there. Mm-hmm. This one. You got it. Now you may notice I have my hand on her shoulder. It's called 2 points of contact. The reason I want 2 points of contact, that lets her brain know exactly where I am in space. So when my hand was here and here, she knows where I am. She knows that this hand is stable and it's over her shoulder joint. What's great about the shoulder joint is it gives deep pressure input, and it causes her to be very okay with me being here. If I take my hand away and I'm just here, and then I do something, if she's been focused down here on these buttons, I could, Amanda, by having my hand here, every time I move, her brain knows I'm about to shift position. So you almost got it. There you go. Now notice I'm looking at the task, this last one. Nice work.
Got it.
Nice work. And take it off. There you go. You got it. Perfect. Here you go. And down. Pulling down, and get that one. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Ooh, now here we go. Now we're going to do something a little different. This is an overhead shirt. So I'm going to show you sometimes what we do, which is classically, we will put the head in first. I don't know. It's just what we do.
All I have to do is this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll put the head in. And I will tell you that there are a number of people living with dementia who are not thrilled with having someone coming into their face and putting something over their head.
Go ahead and try that with somebody. Just see if they're willing to let you put something over their head.
So what we're doing here is instead, I'm going to try this. I'm going to take her hand and I'm going to start again, which should I start with? I bet you guys have been paying attention. Her right, her dominant, and I'm going to have her put this hand in. And then I'm going to have her put this hand in. Now, here's the thing that we're going to do. I'm going to bring it up here as far as I can. I want to get it up way high. And then I'm going to have her hook her thumbs and up and over. There you go. Nice job. Notice I had her hook her thumbs. Now I can do the hand motion. Okay, I know you're not going to want to take this back off. Now, I want you to notice what she was able to do. This is a younger, fit person who can go like that. Maybe not.
But what's also cool is you offer me the space to try it, and you might actually use that right temporal lobe that says, oh, this is something I've done a million times.
And there you go.
And I might not be very good at it, but you can.
And I can sort of do the piece. There you go. You got it. Okay, and then this side. There, and pull your elbow out. Now, that wasn't exactly what she thought she was going to do, but here you go. Pull that. All right, and now you got to get this. All right, good job, lady. Now notice, good job, lady is real different than, oh, good work, sweetheart. Yeah. Nice job. Good work. Yeah, you got it. People need to know, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? I mean, people want to be reinforced. They like it. You know, you have to be thoughtful about how you do it and don't be distracting. But if I were to get Manda's arms, and again, it was right arm, left arm. Here we go. You got it. Up above the elbows. So we're going to go, you got it. And then this one, push it up, push it up, push it up. Good. All right. Now, if I were to take my hands and do this, that's still, it's a lot. So if I bring her hand with me, even the littlest bit, and I use my other hand to guide the back of the shirt.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be difficult. I just, my arms don't know what you're trying to do.
Don't know quite what you want.
Right.
So there we go. And frequently people will finish the task. It's called chaining. In other words, it's a sequence that they do know sequencing to some extent. They just don't know how to initiate and they skip steps. What I want to do, if she pulls it on down, hands off, I don't need to do that. If she doesn't pull it on down, I need to be tuned in. Hey, Amanda.
Again, asking for permission, not just doing it to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tempting. Oh, let me just get that. But that's not really being respectful of an adult. I mean, how many of your friends come out of the bathroom? Here, let me get that zipper for you. I mean, it's just not, I don't know about your friends. Most of my friends would go, XYZ or something. You know, I'd stand in front of you, give you a little cover and see if we can't do that. So here we go. We're here. There you go. Now pull it down. There you go. That's it. Over here. There you go. Oh, there you go. Looking good. All right. Now, you often don't know what I'm doing with my other hand. The good news is neither does Manda. And she doesn't notice it so much because, in fact, there are like so many fewer sensory end organs on your back than on your front that I can get away with a lot of hand touching. The tricky part is you can't use your fingertips. It has to be flat hand movement. Now notice what you may have not have noticed because I was sort of hiding it. Whenever I do something on her back though, two things. Number one, I have my hand on the shoulder. I've worked in head injury. I've worked in situations where people have very quick, impulsive reactions. What I also have is have my elbow in close to her body so that if she elbow kicks, which is she throws her elbow back, number one, I stabilize and so I'm safe. But what I also can do then is step away and acknowledge she didn't like that. Yes, ma'am. So it gives me advance warning that I need to move out of intimate space. I need to get to a place where I'm safe and she feels safer, because suddenly during our interaction, she started to feel unsafe. I didn't really mean to do anything to make her unsafe, but surprise, what I did didn't work for her. All right, so we're going to move down to the other part of the body. And again, we're going to start with dressing versus undressing, because often people get dressed and then they get undressed and then dressed. So Amanda's going to take a look at some questions while I'm or comments, just to see if there's anything we need to respond to here while we're moving forward. All right. Here we go. I have 3 options for pants. And which 2 I select will be somewhat dependent on people's preferences, but it also depends on the abilities of the person. So if I can get someone to tolerate stretch versus zippers and buttons, I may check and see whether or not we can switch over to stretch, because what will it require to do a zipper and the buttons?
And earlier someone asked on a sweater or a top, buttons or zipper.
Yeah. So the problem with zippers is separating zippers have to be lined up pretty exactly in order to start. So it creates a sense of dependence. Whereas buttons, even if I get them misbuttoned, or if I get fairly large buttons, I try to make sure I've tried out the holes so that the holes in the buttons are the best match. We don't want the holes too big because the buttons come undone. But we also want to be careful that it's not too small, because the buttons are hard to get through the holes and people get frustrated. So
this size was fairly easy, and it's a fairly forgiving buttonhole.
And so mine, on the other hand, is tiny. And you're having to use just 2 fingers rather than 3. And so I can and then I can't. So I get stuck and I get so frustrated. And the more frustrated I get, guess what? I get stronger hands. I get really strong hands, but then I lose all the skill. And so what we want to be aware of is when it's time to either go to Velcro, but understand that doesn't make any sense to a person who's always buttoned. So it gets tricky. So the plus of these, they're familiar. The minus of these, they're getting harder to tolerate as far as me helping. So I don't know. Let's see. How much energy do I have today? To be honest, that's one of the variables we need to check into, because if I'm worn out, the last thing I need to do is pick a hard task. So I would only want to show her the 2 that I don't care about. Now, here's a cool thing. They are making more and more things that look like they sort of are familiar, but in fact, they're stretch. Fabrics have really changed over the last 10 years, thank heavens. I still like my blue jeans, but I also am comfortable in my yoga pants. I may not look as good in my yoga pants as I might think I look, but if you're looking that close at my yoga pants, you need to find something else to look at. So here we go. What we're going to do is, Amanda is standing right now. So what do you think step 1 is? Yeah. Hey, Amanda. Now, see, Amanda is so compliant, so easygoing. She automatically knew what I wanted her to do, so she did it. Here's what we're going to do instead. Hey, Amanda. Have a seat.
Sit down.
Yes, ma'am. So what I did is I got down and I motioned sit down and I patted the chair, and then I waited a second, because I need to, again, recognize she likes being in control of her own body. So, what do you think? Plain or flowered?
Well, those are not as nice.
These are not as nice. Okay, well, tell you what, let's go with these. So once again, I am going to position the pants the way they go on her. And I'm going to drop them down low. There you go. Okay, there you go. And pull them on up. Because the first step is getting her foot in the hole. Now, let me see if I can do this without tipping everything over. There you go. Oh dear. I'm good with people living with dementia. Trying to get the camera to focus where I want it. Maybe not so much. It's a little tippy. Let me see if we, no, not gonna happen.
Maybe
we bring
the table over.
Bring the table over. See, it's always helpful when the person who is with you has greater skills. Okay, so we're here. And what I did is I turned it over to her. And now what I'm gonna say is, so Amanda, now bring this one down, okay? And put this foot in. Here you go. There you go. Notice for her, I dropped it back down, got it started, and then hands off. Because I want her to keep going. Here you go. Nice. Nice. Up, up, a little bit more. Perfect, I think. Let's see. Okay, now, lean forward and stand up. Need a little, here you go, right here. Up, and here, there. That's it. There you go. Up, up, up tall. Okay, and now, let's go. Pull them up. Pull, 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 pull. Nice. Ooh, nice job. Now, what I did is I helped with the back. I cued on the front, helped with the back. She was already using her strength hands to bring those up. So to bring them down, hey, Amanda, again, show the, now if she already told me she didn't like this pair and I want to change pants, do I want to show her this pair? No. I want to switch out and get another pair, even though these are perfectly good pants. Because in this moment, she's already decided she doesn't like them. I can show them again. If she says, I don't like those pants, then switch out. What I want to do is show her the pants, and then here you go. We're going to trade them out. Trade out.
Trade it.
Okay, ready? Push down. Push them down. There you go. Here. There you go. You got it. You got it. Nice. Nice. And sit. Now, did you notice that I had her positioned so that when we got to that place, she was in front of something she could sit on? So that's called advanced planning. And when we get to here, there you go. Push them down. Yep. Let's get these off. This one. Take this one out. There you go. Pull it out. That's it. And this one. Pull it out. There you go. Get it right there. So I did a couple cues because if she can do it, I want to encourage doing it. And so I gave a couple of tug cues rather than pull it off cues. Well, folks, believe it or not, it's that time. We've been together a half hour. I'll be over on Dementia Problem Solving on Facebook, I think. But I hope for you guys, this was helpful. I hope I showed you some things that might make life a little bit better. And if we didn't address whatever it is you have issues with, please let us know. See you again Friday evening live on TikTok at 7 next time. Take care, everybody. Hi, I'm Tifa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching. And if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.tifasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.